So I paid off around $55,000 in 3.5 years, making under $60,000. And let me just introduce myself. So I'm Bryant-Erales. I'm a financial literacy coach. I basically teach people how to pay off debt, how to create a budget, how to do things the right way when it comes to learning about their finances. And I also partner with nonprofits, corporate companies, and schools to teach financial literacy workshops. So anyways, back to the program. I'm going to give you one tip financial advice today, and that is to budget. Yes, budget. I know a lot of people don't like that word, but it's super helpful because it helps you keep track of how much money is coming into your account and how much money is going out of your account. I know that when it comes to budgeting, people are just like, this is too much, but I find it helpful because you are able to set limits. So for example, for restaurants, if you want to spend $200 a month on restaurants, so if you want to spend $200 on takeout or whatever, set that number and then work backwards. So okay, let's say $200 for the month, and you divide that by 4 weeks. So that's $50 per week. And then you're able to see, okay, $50 per week, I'm able to spend $25 for 2 days. So then you just break it down into that versus just spending money on whatever you want to spend money on, eating out as much as you want. And then you realize once you calculate the numbers, you actually spend $700 on restaurants, which is crazy. Actually, everyone has their own thing. So just figure out what your thing is. And also using a tool that works best for you. So some people use Every Dollar app, or some people use YNAB, or some people use pen and paper, Excel sheets. So figure out which method works for you when it comes to budgeting. But the first tip is to budget and not be afraid to look at your numbers, not being afraid to look at your bank statements. How much are you spending on different categories? If you tend to overspend on restaurants, or if you tend to overspend on shopping, figuring out what your normal number is, or your average number is, and then working backwards from there. So if you're normal for overspending for restaurants, or your normal for overspending for shopping is $700, don't be too radical and go from $700 to $0. Like, gradually make changes. So if it's normally $700 for restaurants or shopping, go from $700 to $650, or $700 to $600, and then $600 to like $500, and then $500 to $400, versus $700 to $0, because most likely you're not going to be able to change that fast in like a month. So some people can, but I rather you be more gradual and be more patient versus being too radical, because if you fail and you end up spending $1,000 that month, you're going to beat yourself up. So gradual changes are better than radical changes sometimes, depending on the situation, because some things need radical. Okay, anyways, that's my financial advice for today. I'm going to try to do more